ProX 70200 Universal Oil Primary is meant to diagnose fault conditions on an oil burner, and it displays information about that fault to assist you in diagnosing problem conditions. Sometimes a lockout condition will only occur occasionally and not repeat itself during testing. To assist you in this situation, you may review the fault data in the fault history mode to check the cause of the fault. Additionally, the last fault alert will always display information on the most recent lockout, even after the reset button has been pressed. The last fault alert will provide a message about the status of the most recent lockout. If you need more information on these features, please return to chapters 4 and 5 to review the status icons, messages, and fault history. The ProX 70200 will also self-diagnose and provide information about its own condition, and will even advise you to replace the control in the event of a failure. If you have a no-run condition, here are some steps to follow. If the screen is blank and will not awaken by pressing any key, check line voltage to the control. The ProX 70200 will operate between 102 and 135 volts AC. Check all electrical connections, including neutrals. Test for power to L1. If power is present, the power icon will be visible on a display. You may also check voltage to L1 by pressing and holding the up arrow and down arrow keys together for 5 seconds. Is the control in lockout? There should be a message on the display about the fault condition. Correct the condition and press the reset button for 1 second. If the control locks out 3 times in a single call for heat cycle, latch up occurs and will be displayed on the screen. Only a qualified technician should reset the control after latch up, and the problem that caused the latch up should be corrected before returning the burner to normal service. To reset from latch up, you must press and hold the reset button for 30 seconds. Is the CAD cell seeing light or sensing flame? Check the display. Is the flame icon visible? Press the up arrow button to display CAD cell ohms. Light may be leaking into the burner housing. Check for stray light by measuring the CAD cell resistance as it is looking into the inactive combustion chamber. The resistance should be greater than 50,000 ohms. If the CAD cell is defective, replace the CAD cell. Is there a problem with the CAD cell wiring or holder? Replace the CAD cell harness. If the appliance was recently shut down, CAD cell may see residual hot spots in the chamber. Wait a few moments for the chamber to cool down. If there is a flame in the appliance combustion chamber while the burner is off, you must correct the condition before operating the burner. Other no-start problems. Motor output on message on the display. If all wiring is correct and there is no voltage bypassing into the valve circuit, the motor relay is welded, replace the control. You must also determine if the motor amperage is within the listed load rating of the ProX control. Block vent. Is the BV icon flashing on the display? Check for a blockage in the combustion air intake or in the chimney. Check that limits are powered. Check for power on the limit in terminal. The limit icon should be visible on a display. Is T1, T2 circuit closed? TT icon should be visible on the screen. If there are repeated flame failures, check the burner setup. Is the correct nozzle in place? Is the nozzle defective? Check for proper air setting and draft. Is the appliance dirty and causing excessive back pressure? Is there good oil flow? Check all filters and pump strainers. Are the oil valves fully open? Is the fuel pump defective? Perform a pump pressure test and vacuum test. If the oil burner will not light or lockout occurs at the end of trial for ignition, check for no oil. Check your oil supply and filters. Is the nozzle clogged or restricted? Check for proper flow or defective oil valve. Is there a poor spark or no spark at all? Check for misaligned electrodes or cracked electrode porcelains. Does the CAD cell see the flame? Check for higher than normal resistance. Is the airflow correct for the firing rate? Higher than normal flow may not allow the oil burner to ignite. Check your wiring. Are all the components wired correctly and in proper sequence with the primary control? These are just a few of the most common causes for faulty operation. A thorough check of the oil burner setup may be necessary. A flue gas test may also provide additional information. Check our installation and operating manual for additional service and troubleshooting tips, or contact our tech support at 800-989-2275. Thank you for choosing Carlin.